Hello everybody and welcome back to Dr. Ghost Games. If y'all new to the channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Ghost and I make content for the game World of Warships Legends. Now let me just say something right off the bat. It feels good to be back, guys. I have, if you guys are not aware, if you guys don't pay attention to my YouTube community posts, just in case you haven't, I have not been posting because I have taken a week off YouTube. Sometimes it's only necessary to maintain my mental health, and sometimes breaks are needed. So, without further ado, we're back, guys. It's good to be back, and it felt good to do that intro. I cannot lie with you guys. Yeah, so to make up for all the time we've lost, we've got a couple games here, and they're not going to be the most crazy games in the world in terms of damage, but they're going to be teaching moments videos, and I think it's only right to come back with a little bit of teaching moments, and we're going to be in two destroyers in this video, one in the legendary tier French destroyer, the Kleber. I don't believe I have actually featured this ship on the channel yet, so we're going to talk about that throughout the gameplay. And we're also going to feature a British tier 5 destroyer, the Icarus, or the Icarus, Greece, or Greek, I guess. Anyway, no, it's British, but yeah, the Icarus as well, we're going to feature as well. So, first off, though, I would like to real quick, like I said, get off my chest real fast. Like I said, I've taken a break from YouTube, so I do apologize for people who have been left in the dark. In case you guys have not read my YouTube community post, that's what happened. I took a week off, so I do apologize for that in advance. Like I said, it's good to be back, and I'm glad that I'm back doing this. And it felt great to do that intro, because it's been a while. And by the way, we just absolutely deleted that gearing there, bringing our damage up to 13,000. We've got a First Blood award, not too shabby at all. But going back to talking about what we're basically here for. Now, we are playing the Kleber. We also got some division mates. They're going to be actually in this match and in the next match. We've got none other than Christopher Hill, a.k.a. Chili, or you can call him Chill. He's a pretty cool guy. He's got a channel. You guys can go check him out. Link in the description. And we're also joined by none other than Zach Britt. He's been on the channel for a long time. One of my long-term followers here on Dr. Ghost Games. Awesome guy. We play games here and there, and yeah, we definitely had some pretty decent games the other night. So thank you guys for playing with me. If you guys are watching this video, leave a comment, and yeah, I'll be sure to get back to you guys for sure. But yeah, make sure you guys go check out Christopher Hill's channel, link in the description. But with all that being said, the first 3 minutes I just had to talk about a little bit, you know, what was going on, if you guys haven't heard, and of course talk about who's in the game with us. But yeah, now we can actually get into the meat and bones of this video here. Now, while the gameplay is going, I'm going to real quick talk about the Kleber. So obviously the Kleber is a legendary tier French destroyer. It's a very strong destroyer. I think it's a very good gunboat mainly. I build it for torpedoes, but at the same time, the guns, man, the guns are fantastic. I think they're like 130, 140 millimeter guns. They're huge, and for at least a destroyer. And they absolutely smack other destroyers. Like, this thing is a great gunboat. Don't let that fool you. Now, this is a very dangerous game here, but luckily we've got Zachary there with his Conqueror just absolutely smacking the ever-living crap out of these guys for me. Jeez, if it was not for Zachary and Christopher Hill there, I probably would have died. So having that support from my division, awesome. But Christopher Hill, unfortunately, he went down at the beginning of the game. Not much he could have really done about that, although he was kind of going broadside to a Colbert. So I mean, I don't know, but it is what it is, you know. So, nonetheless, yeah, we're going to see what we can do. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, we're not going to have the most amount of damage in the world. However, what I think is more important is doing your job as a destroyer. I have made numerous videos in the past about what your job is as a destroyer, and we haven't made one in a while, so this is going to be one of those videos. Both the matches you guys are going to see are not going to be particularly, we're not going to have a lot of damage. We're not even going to, I don't think, break 100k in any of these games. However, we are still going to be top of the leaderboard in both matches just because of the fact that we're doing our job. And what is our job? We're going to talk about that now. Our job as a destroyer, at least a gunboat destroyer, such as Kleber, is to, of course, capture bases, spot the enemy, and deal with other destroyers. You know, those first two, capturing bases and spotting the enemy, are the most crucial thing you can do for your team. Providing intelligence data for your cruisers and your battleships, very, very important. Capturing those bases to get the points for your team, very, very important. If you don't do those things, you will lose games. Destroyers are one of the most vital roles on anybody's team. And the fact is that if you don't do your job, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have very good you're not going to have very good high XP games. However, you might have good damage, but damage doesn't win games, folks. Damage does not win games. And, you know, I prefer to do my job as a destroyer. I don't give two rats ass if I do 10k damage or 1,000,000 damage. As long as I do my job as a destroyer, as long as I capture bases, deal with other DDs, help spot the team, that to me is more valuable than anything else. Getting those capture zones, getting those points, which ultimately will give you more XP, dealing with other DDs, that stuff all comes together, and it makes you the most vital role for your team. Doing your job is the most important thing, regardless of what ship you are in. If you're in a destroyer, a cruiser, a battleship, or a carrier, figuring out what your job is. And we have plenty of videos covering all ship types in this game, but mainly doing those jobs, I can't say it enough, it's the most crucial thing you can do. So what if you don't do a lot of damage? If you at least do what you're supposed to, who cares? And in this game, that is going to show. We are not going to have the most amount of damage in the world. However, we are going to place very high in the leaderboard. Actually, both of them we're going to place top and by a significant margin just because we did what we needed to do. And it rewards players for doing that. It really does. Now, obviously, now we're going to talk a bit more about the Kleber in depth. Now, the Kleber is obviously, like I said, it's a great gunboat. It's got 8 130, 140 millimeter guns. They're very big, very large. They got a little slow reload, about 7 seconds, but they smack so damn hard it just does not matter. The alpha strike on these guns are fantastic. Now, the one thing that's very special about the Kleber is the speed, baby. Yes, the speed. And by the way, speaking of speed, those Shimmatorps got the best of my other division mate there, Zachary, and unfortunately he went down. Nothing much you can really do about a Shimakaze. Maybe I should have probably went up north and dealt with the destroyer, right? I should have done that. That's my bad. That's a mistake I made in this game. And instead, I decide to hunt down the Grosser Kurfürst. Now, don't get me wrong. I did get both capture zones. I went for Bravo. We got that. And I went for Delta. Maybe I could have immediately darted from Delta, went up north to deal with the destroyer. But then again, I didn't, and unfortunately lost a teammate because of it. But then again, we've got 2 other destroyers. You know what I mean? It shouldn't just have to be me that does that. I really want to go and get Charlie. Now notice I am starting to go up north. I got my torpedoes off on the enemy battleship. But like I said, nothing much I really could have done, I don't think. Either way, I think Zachary was toast. Shimakaze torps, very long range, very fast torpedoes. They do 20k plus damage per hit. I don't know. He might have been screwed regardless. Now, talking more about the Kleber here, the Kleber has very, very good, like I said, very, very good speed. It is the fastest destroyer in the game. Now, the commander we have on this one is, I believe it's Felipe Abueno, the stealth torper. He's got a skill for the engine boost called Go All Out. It basically decreases my concealment by about minus like 20%, so I can get my concealment down to like 4 kilometers. It's pretty disgusting with that Go All Out skill, and on top of that, I'm speeding around the map at 50 plus knots. It's freaking awesome, and the speed and maneuverability of this thing is phenomenal. It is freaking, it's the best in game for a destroyer. Maybe not the maneuverability so much, but the speed definitely. It's the fastest DD in the game, 50, 60 knot speed. I'm sure if you build it for it, you can get past 60 knots easily. Fastest freaking destroyer in the game, and that really comes into play. You know, I can zoom around the map and get to capture zones and have very good concealment while doing it. I'm literally one of the most vital roles for my team. If it wasn't for me in this game, I think we would have lost it. Now, that might be a little bit arrogant saying that, but me getting the caps really got us this win, I think. Getting those capture zones kept us in the points lead. It kept us up there. And also dealing with that destroyer, getting him off the board, helping with the GK, I don't know. I felt like I did all I could in this game. I did my job, and ultimately it paid off in the end. You know, like I said at the beginning of the video, damage does not win games. You know what I mean? Damage does not. Doing what you need to do does. I can't say that enough. Like I said, Kleber, very good speed, decent maneuverability. It has pretty damn good guns. Now, the armor on Kleber, non-existent. It's a destroyer. Don't depend on it. Now, notice we outspotted that Shimakaze. I don't know if he has that thing upgraded or has a good commander, because he somehow got out-detected by a Kleber with like 5/8 concealment. Kind of questionable, but yeah. I don't like Shimikaze, by the way. If you guys ever want me to play Shimikaze, save it for later. I'm never going to play Shimikaze. I hate that destroyer. I hate playing it. I hate going up against it. It's the most boring thing imaginable to play. I don't like self-torpors at all. If you guys haven't noticed, I like gunboat builds. I love my gunboat destroyers, and this is definitely one of them. And I'm not even spec'd into the guns on this. And look at the damage. 7 penetrations, almost 5k. That's disgusting. That is extremely disgusting. Now we're turning around here to get our torpedoes off. I was hoping to ram them and maybe get a diehard just for the memes, but unfortunately it just was not meant to be. So we get our torpedoes off, and Shimikaze is going to die to that. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for that game. But like I said, do your job, man. I cannot express that enough. And watch where we're going to place, guys. Look at where we're going to place in this game here. Top of the leaderboard with 2.6k base. And look at the damage we had. 2.6k base, and we only did, what? 40,000 damage, 40k damage, and 2.6k base XP. What else can you say, guys? Damage does not place you high in the leaderboard. Doing your job does. I cannot express that enough. Now on to the next game here. Northern Waters, domination mode, and we've got the Icarus. Icarus, tier 5 British destroyer. By the way, if you guys have made it this far in the video, you guys are halfway in. I thank you very much. Don't forget to go down there, hit that like button if you guys are enjoying it so far, just in case you also forgot to. I appreciate all the support. Now, once again, we're joined by Zachary and Chill. They are in their Warspites. This is a dirty division here. The British fleet's going to be embarking here. We're going to go absolutely smack on these fools here. I might not smack on these fools too hard, but definitely Chili and Zachary will. Warspite, fantastic 15-inch main batteries. Easily one of the strongest, if not the strongest, battleships at tier 5. Excellent ship. It really is. That British AP is just something else with those 381s, for sure. But yeah, the main spotlight here is going to be, though, once again, not a lot of damage, but like I said, we do what we need to do to win. And I cannot, I can't say that enough, guys. Do what you need to do. In case you guys forgot, I'll remind you, capture bases, spot the enemy for your team, providing that intelligence data so they can get shots downrange. And remember, you get spotting damage too. So it may not show it, but you actually do get spotting damage, which gives you XP. And when you combine all that with the damage you might get from torpedo hits and also the XP you get from capturing bases, that all will combine at the end of your game. And you will place high in the leaderboard, I promise you that. If you can learn to contain yourself and do your job, you will have probably a better experience. YOLOing into the middle of the game, in the middle of the match, and just trying to torpedo a battleship just for some damage, that's not going to win games. Going off on a flank, completely abandoning your team just to get torpedo hits, that's not going to help you win the game. What is going to help you win the game is playing tactically, using your concealment to get in those capture zones, helping your team spot. I cannot express that enough, guys. It may sound repetitive in this video, but I'm going to keep saying it to remind you guys, people that don't know how to play DDs, that's the way to do it. Learning how to use your maneuverability, your speed to your advantage, and getting in there to cap. And when you're getting pushed by a destroyer, deal with it. You know what I mean? If you need to, disengage. Pop that smoke screen, turn the hell around. But you need to do your job. That's what's going to win games at the end. But anyways, enough talking about doing your job right now. Let's talk a bit about the Icarus. Now, the Icarus, obviously, it's got 4 100 and I think they're 27 millimeter guns. They're about 5-inch guns, if I'm not mistaken. You guys could probably correct me in the comments, but they're pretty good guns. They've got a pretty rapid reload, and they do pretty damn well against other destroyers. But I mean, they're nothing too crazy. But I mean, hey, they're there. They're pretty good. They're British. They've got higher fire chance. All that stuff. Now, the other thing with this ship is it has a lot of torpedoes. Now, the Tier 4 destroyer, the Acasta, not really the most great ship in the world. It's got low-range torpedoes, and the guns are pretty good, but that's about it. It's pretty bad otherwise. Now, however, when you get the Icarus, the torpedo range is stock. I believe it's like 7 to 8 kilometers. You can get that out to easily 9 kilometers, and this thing's a very viable gunboat or a torpedo boat. I personally build it for torpedoes and speed, and my concealment. That's what I build my Icarus for. I run Reginald Tierwit, if you guys are curious. But, yeah. Now, the torpedoes, you've got 10 of them, right? You've got 10 of these things. and they have pretty good range. They've got decent speed, decent concealment, so not too shabby at all. And the guns, like I said, they're pretty decent too. Now the armor on this thing, non-existent. It's a destroyer. Don't take hits if you can help it. But no, notice that the Mutsu is pretty much focusing on the people over in Alpha. He's not even looking at me, so I'm just able to farm some damage here with my beautiful 5-inch guns. Really not much you can do about it. Now, one thing I'm keeping an eye on is that Warspite. You know, that Warspite, I'm worried if he turns his guns. I'm trying to see when these guys actually start getting irritated and start turning this gun. Now, we take some return fire from this Subra Zitelny, and really, not much we can do about that. I return fire myself because DDs need to die. You know what I mean? Now, I put some wide spreads out there, downrange towards the battleships, and I turn my guns towards the DD. I don't care about damage at this point. I want to kill that frickin' DD. DD needs to go bye-bye. That's on my priority list, although I'm not going to hit him very effectively because he's turning, he's speeding up at range. It's going to make these floaty 5-inch guns a lot less accurate. Not much we can really do about that. So we switch our target back over to the Mutsu because the DD gets behind the island, and the Mutsu looks like he might take some torpedoes, but actually, wait for it. Yeah, Chili comes in there with his beautiful 15-inch British 381mm guns and just absolutely smacks the ever-living shit out of that Mutsu. Pardon my language. But yeah, yikes. Now, torpedoes, whoo, almost hits me, but nope, I stop on a dime. Damn near took those on my bow, but luckily this thing stopped on a dime, and it saved my life most likely. Warspite stationary, not too sure what he's really doing here. We get a fire on the Warspite. We're up to 4k damage. Really not too special. At this point, I am farming a bit of damage. I'm guilty of that, but what else do I have left to do? I need to get this guy off the board, so that way we can proceed over to kind of the center of the map here and help with the rest of the team. But, yeah, really not much else left to talk about with the Icarus. It's a good little tier 5 destroyer. It's got pretty damn good torpedoes. It's got decent guns. They're pretty mediocre, to be honest with you. It's no Mahan or Farragut or anything like that, but hey, it's pretty good at the end of the day. And it's got sonar. I forgot to mention, this thing has sonar. So it's not the greatest sonar in the world. It's got about a ship detection of about 3 kilometers, but that does come into handy if you need to spot torpedoes. For your team, if you need to, of course, spot other destroyers that are maybe hiding around an island or in a smoke screen, whatever the situation may be, that sonar does come into handy, you know? And, of course, you've got those British smoke screens, and they're pretty unique because they're not, like, they don't last very long. They're like spit smoke screens, or how do you call that? I call them just retreat smoke screens. What I mean by that is I only use them to retreat. I don't sit in them because they only last like 30 seconds. I've got 8 of them for a reason. They've got very rapid reload, so you can just keep popping them, keep disengaging, and it really makes these knife fights and stuff really easy. Now, we did take out that enemy destroyer. Well, yeah, we basically took him out. He's dead. That's all that matters. And basically, we've won this game. The enemy lost their destroyers, and we still have all of our destroyers intact. We sent some torpedoes out towards that West Virginia because we don't really have much else left to do. We've done our job up to this point. We've helped our team. Our team has done excellent up to this point. I mean, also, not to mention, Chili and Zachary over there in their Warships have been doing also freaking excellent, putting down some absolute mayhem on these guys. By the way, look at what they did to that freaking cruiser. The Bajani got absolutely wrecked. And speaking of getting wrecked, here's some torpedo action. Doink. Doink. Down he goes. Second kill of the game, 35k damage. Not too shabby. Down goes the West Virginia. And the Bajani, still alive. We've got a yoink shot out there. Are we going to get it? Yes, we do. We yoink the heck out of that kill. That was obviously a yoink, 100%. But hey, we got him. Third kill of the game. Not too shabby, although the third one didn't really count. That was a yoink. But hey, got to take what you can get, right? So anyways, everybody, that is basically the end of this one. We just got left to capture this cap here and deal with the enemy Warspite, and that is going to be about it. So if you guys have made it this far into the video, congratulations, it's the end on this one. And I hope you all did maybe learn something from this video if you guys like don't really understand doing your job, which isn't a bad thing. You know, you got to learn, you got to start learning somewhere, right? I hope you maybe learned something from this. I hope you maybe got some entertainment from it. Yeah, nonetheless, guys, that's going to be about it. Make sure you guys also, I can't say it enough, go check out Chili's channel. He started streaming recently. He's got a Twitch channel. He's got a He's, of course, got a YouTube channel. I will put the links in the description. Go check him out. Give him a subscription. Show some love here, or show some love over there from Dr. Ghost Games. And, yeah, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video. Battle ended not too shabby. And once again, top of the leaderboard, 36k damage. What else can I say, guys? But also, not to mention, Chili and Zachary did freaking excellent, too. So, thank you guys for that game. It was a fun time. Awesome playing with you. And GG's to everybody else. If you guys are watching the video after the fact, if you guys were in my matches, awesome. But, yeah, guys, have a great rest of your days. Have a great rest of your Mondays. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out. Stay healthy, as always.